Hello everyone, this is Chang TB, long time no see, and today I come back with a new tutorial. I will teach you how to paint this type of dewdrops in watercolor. I have demonstrated it several times in this YouTube channel, but normally as a part of a process of painting a whole rose or tulip, so it may be very difficult for you to follow, especially if you are a beginner. So today I will guide you how to paint the 2 rose petals. It is very simple, so you can practice the technique of painting the little dewdrops. And this is a real-time video, so you can paint along with me. So we will start with making a drawing of the 2 petals. Okay, so it is very easy, so you just need to paint it fully. Okay, so there are 2 ways of painting the 2 drops. One way is using masking fluid, and one way you don't have to using masking fluid. I think the way of using masking fluid will make the process much easier. So I will note it here. It is not. Okay, so let me change my pen so that it is easier for you to see. In this petal, I will note it not using masking fluid. And this is using masking fluid. Okay, so that's it. I will make I will mark it here so that we know where I should put the masking fluid on. Okay, so and for the way not using masking fluid, you don't have to paint it, you don't have to prepare it right now. Okay, so this is pale masking fluid, and I will use a rolling pen to mark it. I find that rolling pen is the best way to put masking fluid on papers, especially when you need to make a very small mark. I will make another big one here so that it is easier for you to. I will make it bigger, so that it is easier for you to practice. Okay, so now we need to wait for the masking fluid to dry. So while waiting for this, I will paint this petal first. Okay, so the way to paint this rose petal is very simple. I will wet the whole petal first. Sorry, I am filming this video in this afternoon in my apartment, and it is in the very center of Ho Chi Minh City. It is the financial and economic center of Vietnam, so there may be some noise on the background, so hopefully it's okay with you. Okay, so I will wet it, and okay, I will use some, it is called Watercolor rose, I think. Put it here. I will use my brush to spread the paint evenly. Now I will put some yellow into it. So, are you seeing I made some mistake here? I shouldn't paint it over the light pencil, but it is okay. Just make it interesting. Okay, so now we need to wait for this watercolor to dry and wait this masking fluid to dry. So I will stop filming now, and we will return after probably 30 minutes because I don't plan to use a trial for this. See you later. It has been more than 30 minutes, so welcome back. So now I will paint this petal. After painting this petal, I will come back and guide you how to paint the dewdrop without masking fluid. Okay, so let's get started. Okay. Okay, as I mentioned before, the process of making painting this petal is very simple. I try to make it as simple as possible so that we can focus our attention on how to paint the dewdrop. Okay, so will put some orange here to make it more interesting. It's not very important at all because a petal can come from a lot of shape. Okay, so while waiting this petal to dry, I will pin the dewdrop on this petal. So before continue, I will use this pencil, this eraser to erase the pencil line a little bit, so just make it to look tidier. Okay, so the first step, we will use pencil to sorry, I need to fix it a little bit. The first step is still using the pencil to mark where you plan to make the dewdrop. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about a dewdrop. For example, let me paint one here. So if it's the line sort here. Okay, the line sort here. For all this project, I will assume this is the line source. So now here it will has this one is a white or bright dot, and up to that this color is the darkest, and it lighten to work here, and here we will have a shadow. Shadow here is gradient area, and it is a line dot. So for this line dot, you can paint it now or you can make it later. If you make it later, you need to use white gold. But first, I will try my best to make the dialogue first, and if I am unsuccessful, I will no problem. I will create later. Okay, so it's very difficult because I don't want to touch my hand into this. Maybe it will be easier if I create another big one here. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is I draw a circle like this, and then I fill the top. I am short-sighted, so it is not very easy for me to paint under the camera. Okay, so put water into the brush and you can make it gradient like this. Now wait for it to dry. So until when it dry, you just need to paint a shadow here and it is done. So I think it is already dry now. So I think using masking fluid will be much easier for beginner, because let me explain this. Because when we have this masking fluid on, I will paint the shadow now, because we have this masking fluid here, so you don't have to, you can paint it quite easily. Okay, so because it is yellow area, I will make it a yellow one. Okay, so because we have this, so you can, because there's masking fluid, you can paint the shadow without thinking anything, so it makes the process much easier for beginners, so I recommend using this method for beginner. Recommend for beginner. Okay, so now I need to wait it to dry until before removing all the masking fluid. So I will come back with this because it is, for this I will paint the shadow first, and as you can see, without the masking fluid you need to make sure that you paint it with accuracy. Okay, so need to make it darker. I just want to say, because I didn't study at an art school, so the way I paint may be different from the way a professional artist paint. But I think it's not really important at all, because I think for art we don't have any rule. So now again we need to wait everything to dry, so let's stop and wait another maybe only 10 or 15 minutes. Let's come back. I think everything is dry now, so okay, so I want to clean it a little bit. Use this eraser to clean it a little bit. And okay, so this one now it needs I only need a shadow. The way I paint the shadow is like this. Okay, normally for shadow you don't have to make it, you don't have to put water to make it gradient. Okay, so this one again I will try to draw a very small circle. And then use water to make it lighter toward that direction. For your information, I am using Bao Hong, which is a Chinese brand paper. It is not as good as chess, but I am reluctant cutting my chess bit into that kind of small. So as you can see, it is very difficult to paint this. Small Y here. So, but it's not a big problem. Just I think because it is too. I will fill it and I will use white girl to make it to fix it later. Okay, so I mean, because this is not the best type of paper, so the gradient effect here is not really good, but it is okay because I really don't want to cut my precious artist paper into a small piece like that. Okay, so again, draw a small circle here. Fill around and make it gradient. Okay, so I will ignore this one for now. And now I will come back to this. You can remove the marking fluid using your hand, but I will try to find I have an eraser I can use to remove. Okay, let me find this. Okay, so this one, because the problem with remove marking fluid by hand is we may have some oil on our hand, and if possible, let's use it. So the only use of masking fluid is to make you to paint this shadow easier. So if you are a beginner, I recommend you to use masking fluid to paint this dewdrop, but it is not really necessary. Okay, draw a small circle here, and then in order to okay, sorry, I forgot to turn on the light, so it is easier for you to see. More water because okay, so I will ignore the two. I think the video is already long, so I will ignore the two small drop here. And for this, all we need now is to put some white gold here, because if you cannot paint a draw circle, you just put it, and that's it. You already know how to paint the dewdrop in watercolor. So if you compare with my initial painting, this one is a little bit ugly because I often feel a little bit pressure under the camera. So, but hopefully I will get used to the process over time, and you know the principle to paint the dewdrop in watercolor. If you goodbye for now, and please like, comment, share and subscribe if you find this video helpful.